everyone, I'm back. I'm on a 60-day band, no, 90-day Dooney fast, and I'm still on it. Hooray, I've made it to 65 days. So far so good. And I have a Fitbit. I want to shout out to Laurie and Ivana. Laurie Davis, I think, has one. Ivana has one. And boy, is this really handy. So I finally broke down and got one, and I'm so happy with this little gadget. I'm doing real well on it, but boy, it really is interesting about your sleep pattern. So I love learning about that. It's good to see you all. I miss you. Hi. My last video was a dedication to my mom, her birthday, her bag, some of her bag collection. And I'm sorry for those of you who had to endure the gum chewing. It's the only way I could get through the video was to chew some gum. I don't chew gum normally, but that helped me from having like a little breakdown. I did a previous video and I uploaded it and took it down. It was a little too long, and also was a little more emotional. And so that's why you saw me a little more collected on the next one. If some of you saw the first one, I choked up and it was a lot harder to do than I realized. So chewing the gum kind of helped me get through it. So those of you who don't like gum chewing and are annoyed by it, don't watch it. Just turn it off, move on, right? You know, in YouTube land, you're gonna get all kinds of people, all kinds of comments, all kinds of issues. And it's just mostly, I think some people are just bored and they don't really have much else to do. So it's kind of fun just to nitpick at people. But it's hard to come up here and do this. And especially when you're talking about your mom who passed away. So individuals who want to be mean about it, go right ahead. I'm okay. I just know there's millions of people and personalities, and when you go onto YouTube, you are asking for it to a certain extent. You're gonna have, some people are gonna have issues with different things, but I am thrilled that I've made it to 65 days of no Dooney purchases. So I'm very happy. And today I just wanted to talk about textures. Laurie Davis had a video that was really worth looking at about the textures of the Louis Vuitton canvas bag compared to the Dooney and Bourke. I still love Dooney and Bourke. I like Dooney and Bourke. I love Chanel. I love Louis Vuitton. And their bags, they're beautiful. They're all pieces of art. And I wear different bags for different reasons. So I did want to talk, though, about this one. This is my Retiro PM from Louis Vuitton. Louis Vuitton. My mother would correct me quite often. I said, Mom, you raised me. This is the Retiro, and I love it because it's a lot like the Speedy Bee Bandolier. That's what B means, bandolier, signature canvas, except that it has more bells and whistles, I think. It has this beautiful vachetta, what I call bumpers at the bottom on all four corners. It has kind of a homage to luggage, to the Louis Vuitton luggage look, and I happen to like that. And then it has the vachetta trim, which is untreated leather. And there's a lot of controversy going around about how to manage the patina. And this is a really beautiful patina, honey gold patina, and it's just softened and has just relaxed. I use this bag a lot. It's so practical. It's about the size of a 30, what do you call it, a 30 canvas Speedy. But it is called a Retiro, and this is their old school version. They have a new one now. They came out with a new design where they redid the bumpers and they redid the handles, the strap, and actually have pebbled leather, which is a lot more, I guess, tough. Dark chocolate brown, different colors. You can get in cherry. Same idea with the signature canvas. And the canvas in the Louis Vuitton is quite light, so your bags, even though it's a little heavier, this is more of a medium small. It's the PM. They have a GM, but they're not making this style anymore. This is a little more old school, but you can see the brass, the beautiful brass shoulder strap, and the mechanism of Louis Vuitton. And every piece of the Louis Vuitton is echoed with its with the logo. And you see how this strap, how this buckle, it's not really a buckle, but a clasp, how it pulls like this. And to authenticate a real one, you have to look at the spring mechanism in it, and all the Louis Vuitton imprinted on all the pieces of metal is one way. Even the studs here have an imprintation on them. So you can see this is the strap. Even Dooney and Bourke has straps like this. I love this strap. It is so practical, and it molds to your shoulder. When you first get this bag, it's really slippery, and women complain how it slips off their shoulder. I'm telling you, once the Vachetta leather, the untreated, matures, it softens like butter, and it's absolutely beautiful. And it melts right to my shoulder. I don't have a problem with it slipping. So in the beginning, Vachetta leather is it's hard, it's white practically. It has like a tiny little bit of, until it hits sunlight or just, oxidates with, oxygen. That's what oxidate means, oxygen. So your atmosphere and your, just the air we breathe oxidates the leather and gives this beautiful patina. There's a lot of controversy about how to maintain that patina. And you do go through the uglies with this patina, but once it patinas, you can see how Louis Vuitton designed this color to go beautifully, to pop beautifully against the logo of this canvas. It's part of the design to look like that. To resist having it done is you're not enjoying the beautiful 1920s, 1930s concept of the luggage look that was to hold up and have this beautiful antique, really it's a varnish on there in a way, although I don't recommend you varnishing or doing anything to this leather. Just leave it alone, let it patina on its own. It is going to darken a little bit more where your oils are on this handle, but that's part of the deal. Your oils of your hands helps with the patina. It helps to create its own coating and protection. So when you age it, and if you try to fuss with it or try to do anything unnatural to it, then you're treating the leather, and then it starts to turn weird colors. Sometimes it can turn black. If you have a really old one, I think it's okay to clean it, and you just have to be careful. Usually it's just really mild, foaming soap that's clear with no fragrances, no nothing, and a little water. Actually, just a little water to clean this whole thing off is all you need over time. But in the beginning, you just don't want to do anything. There's such a temptation to try to use conditioners and all kinds of things. You really don't need to do that. Just keep it clean. But I can understand why women worry about it, because you spend a lot of money on a bag like this, and it goes through this really awkward stage, and it looks like hell sometimes. And so you just want to do something to it. But that's the beauty of the natural patinaing, is that it creates its own sealant. When you just leave it alone, if you interfere with it, it starts to take on odd colors and odd changes. Or you have to maintain it that way. In other words, you have to keep using, I know some women use baby wipes and stuff. Then you have to keep it, and it dries out the leather. That's the problem. You don't want to dry out the leather. Then it cracks, and then it's a mess. But I think a lot of women go through their different challenges. If you do any conditioning on it or whatever, and you happen to, you can clean it off. You can clean it off. I'm not talking about baby wipes or erasers, because there's stuff in baby wipes that has acidity in it, even if it has no alcohol. There's still stuff in the baby wipes that dry out leather, because it's meant to dry out a baby's behind. And there's lots of videos to explain this, so that's not what I want to get into. But I just find just letting it go, not be afraid of it. I wear it all the time, and it ended up just turning out beautifully, even though I don't take it in the rain. That's one thing I do. So you baby it a little bit in the beginning, but once it's like this, oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure to wear. So I just want to take the stigma out of being afraid of it. My mom, she taught me this, okay? She taught me this, to not do anything to the leather. Don't futz around with it. Let it take on its personality. And I'm telling you, it was tempting a few times. I think one time I did, on the handles right here, I did do a little baby wipe thing. And boy, did she kick my butt. No, don't do that. So, and it was on another bag, wasn't on this one. This is one of my favorite. It's big. It's like the 30. Has the same capacity, and it's in the, of course, the signature leather. I mean, leather. It's not leather. Feel like it. Canvas, and Louis Vuitton canvas. So the interior is, and I love it because it opens way up. You get a nice big opening compared to even the Speedy. And that's why I like the Retiro PM. The PM is not too big. They have a GM that's much bigger, and it's more as a wonderful carry-on, that kind of thing for luggage. So you can see the interior has a pocket here. I actually do have a Samorga purse organizer that goes in here, and I forgot to bring it. I would have shown it to you. But anyway, and here is a zippered, this is a slip pocket. It's not zippered. Then you can see this is made in France. Whenever you have Louis Vuitton Paris, and then you have made in France underneath, you know it's made in France. And also there is a number that's stamped into this. It's like a super suede interior. And it can get dirty kind of easy. So I use an organizer in there. 2 pockets in there. Nice big wide opening. One thing I love about the Dooney and Bourkes is they give you a zipper and a slip on the other side. I love the slip and the zipper. I have to say, when you spend this much money on a bag, and here's a good example. You know, Dooney and Bourke has it on pretty good on organization. A lot of these designer bags, that's like an afterthought. You know, putting extra pockets on the outside, that could have worked here, but no. You know? And also, I buy on the secondary market. So a lot of times. So sometimes you don't always know what treatment, you know, your leather came in. But this was a single owner, and they never treated it. So they were knowledgeable of not treating the vachetta leather and ruining it, because it's natural, untreated, and it's meant to be untreated so that it takes on this beautiful oxidation. And it goes with the design. As an artist, I can see the colorway, the warm tones, the very much of the luggage tradition of Louis Vuitton, and you know, the spirit of the 1920s. You can feel that in the early 1800s, you know, feel of the work. So here's the bag, and I'm gonna model it and say hi to all my subscribers. Thank you. I think I'm over 500 now, and I want to thank all of you for signing in and signing up and helping me enjoy sharing with you ladies of taste and style. I've learned so much. In fact, Becantan Beauty taught me how to stuff the corners with paper, put into a plastic baggie, and just stuff it right in the corner. And boy, have my bags held up so much better. Thank you, Pecan. Shout out, great ideas. Putting tags on her bags to identify the purse, so you know when that you are getting your stuff together. So I'm wearing sort of a Southwest. This is, to me, a South it looks good with so many outfits. And you just let that dangle, and it's a shoulder bag, and that's what I love about it. It's a lot like the bandolier, except it's got more detail. It's got the beautiful patch here, and it has, the handles are so comfortable. This protects the bag, and it has feet, and it has structure. So you don't have the slouching that you get with the Speedy. That was one of the things I wasn't crazy about, so I purchased this one. And it was just lovingly taken care of. And here I have it on my shoulder. And what I love is, you see how it's a triangle right here. And because the leather has relaxed on the shoulder, it sticks nicely. So there we go. Step back just a bit. And I wanted to talk about the different textures of different bags really quick. Here you go. Beautiful. So that is the Retiro. I wanted to show the difference between the Chanel. This was my mother's Chanel. Beautiful condition. No scuffs whatsoever. This is called caviar leather. This is a tougher leather. It's calfskin, but it has a caviar. I don't know if you can see it. See those little bumps? It's like caviar. That's why they named it that way. Black, double flap, classic medium. And she took beautiful care of it. This, see that texture? Really makes this tough. They have calfskin that's smooth, a lambskin, and it's much smoother, scratches easy. This is for your everyday knock around. It'll hold up to your wear. But this is a pebbled, embossed calf's leather. This is a Louis Vuitton embossed calf's leather. Has the same caviar texture as the Chanel, just to let you know. And then it has an embossing of the Louis Vuitton logo. And in this bag, you have the LV going the right way up. The right way up. Why? Because it's two pieces of leather underneath here, and then you've got a panel that covers it to support the bottom. It's a little different idea than the canvas, which is one piece of fabric. In the canvas, Speedy 30, this is a 30 Emplon leather from Louis Vuitton, size 30. In the canvas, it's one piece of fabric that goes all the way around, so on the back side, the logo is upside down. On the front side, it's right side up. So that's how you can tell a fake too. If it's right side up on the canvas only, but on the empreinte leather, this is correct. So that's part of the beauty, and it has feet underneath it too. You'll notice the Chanel does not have feet, okay? You don't get that with this. It's like a big wallet. But see the difference, see the similarity. This is a little deeper pebbling than the Louis Vuitton. This one's a little more subtle, just slightly, but they're very similar. And that's what makes this leather a little tougher, and you can't scratch it as easily. Now you can pretty much wreck it if you put a knife to it, but that's not what I'm suggesting, okay? And then you have the texture of, right, the canvas. And it has a texture of a caviar finish also. So check out Laurie Davis's About Canvas, because she showed really a good demonstration of the different canvases from Dooney and Bourke and Louis Vuitton. But these aren't leather. This is canvas, coated canvas. This is leather. But they use a very similar texture like the Chanel does on their leather bags. So, and I think it helps toughen up. And then here is the Dooney and Bourke. Yay, I'm a Dooney-nista still, don't worry. Here is the Florentine leather. Smooth as silk, heavier. The calf's leather is lighter. This is a little tougher, but you can scratch it, but if you buff it out, the scratches sort of disappear. So this shows, this is Italian, right? Vachetta leather that you see that is conditioned. In other words, it has a protectant on it. This leather, the Italian leather, this is unprotected. Protected, no treatment. Treated Vachetta leather, untreated. So it holds its color. And even this will patina to a certain extent with the oils of your hand, but not to the extent that the unprotected does. So you can, you'll still get some water spots on here, even the protected, right? And the Italian, so Dooney and Bourke is known for their Italian leathers, but you can see Louis Vuitton uses it just untreated. Now, some of their bags are treated. It depends on what product of Louis Vuitton that you are purchasing. This is their empreinte calf's leather, and it's treated. That's a big difference. Untreated. Okay, and if you understand what you're dealing with and how to care for it, so you can, Dooney and Bourke recommends not even putting anything on this. You can, and if it's dry and thirsty, you can put apple conditioner as one of the ones. You have Cadillac conditioner, different ways to condition these bags. This, you really don't have to do a damn thing. Excuse my language. This, you don't have to do a thing. Don't do a thing. These really high-end bags, really, they design them so you don't do anything, including this one, this Vachetta leather. Don't do anything if you can, unless it's an old bag and you just need to clean it. Then you can with very, very mild soap and water. That's it. You don't want to add anything or any conditioning because it ruins the patina. Okay, I hope that's helpful. Let's see, anything? Oh, here's another texture, right? What do they call that? It's Italian, and it's Saffiano leather, and it's got the hatching. That's an embossing also, and it makes it very tough, just like this. But this, instead of pebbling texture that's embossed on there, it has striations. You see? It has little stripes, like a basket, and that's also tough. And that's Italian leather, and that's a treatment that they put on them. So you can see the different textures of the different leathers. That can help in your purchasing. This is very hardy. This is actually a Ferragamo designer bag. This was my mom's. This was one of her evening bags. Isn't that beautiful? With brass on the front. Okay, I think we covered it. I think one more. Here's Pebble leather and Dooney and Bourke. That's the toughest. This is tough, like this is tough, but this is regular cowhide embossed. This is calves leather, more refined leather. This is cowhide, and it's just, that's super tough. It's a little heavier too. So